Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another First Division preview show. Keith and Keith once again. It's the double team of Keith, I suppose. What's the story, Keith? How are you?
How are you, Keith? Haven't seen you in a long time.
I know, yeah. 30 seconds ago. We'll move on to the first fixture, and you get to talk about Bray Wanderers in this one, by the way, because Bray Wanderers take on Longford Town, so they do, at the Carlisle grounds, and Bray obviously 7th in the league, Longford 4th in the league, of course. You know, they played earlier on in the season, and Longford beat them earlier on in the season?
In Bray, yeah. They did
last minute. Bray, they did, yeah, that's right. Oh, the last minute goal, I remember it now. Remember you were telling me. And Cronin obviously goes back to the Carlisle grounds as well. But how do you see this one with Bray? Bray obviously scored 22 goals this season, Keith, which is actually the least amount of goals in the league. Cobh and Athlone have scored more goals than Bray, so that's something obviously they have to look at. They've conceded 42 goals, which is far less than Cobh and Athlone. So how are you seeing this game? Their record, particularly at home this season, has been great, has it?
No. And the Carlisle used to be a bit of a fortress as such. It was a difficult place to go, you know, particularly during the early part of the season, the late part when it's cold and it's windy and it's, you know, Bray just held their own. They used to hold their own quite well. Now teams are going to the Carlisle and they're not fearful of anything, you know, and awful run of form at the Carlisle. We've one win at home against Athlone, which was obviously expected. Like, it was expected to be Athlone, but it's going to be a tough game this week. Longford, in fairness, I know I criticized them because their squad wasn't big enough. They've signed a few players to bulk up their squad. So, obviously, Craven is still out injured, who was a bit of a catalyst for them for the early part of the season for him. He obviously got the winner in the Carlisle. I'm not going to call it a Bray win here because I don't expect it. I think Longford, if anything, I think it'll be a draw. I don't think Bray are strong enough to get the win, but I don't think Longford are on a good run of form either that will get the win for them. I think they'll cancel each other out. Possibly could be a 0-0 draw, Keith.
I'd go for a boring 0-0 myself. You've basically said everything that I was thinking, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Cork City then take on Treaty at Turner's Cross, and actually Cork have destroyed Treaty a couple of times this season, haven't they, to be fair? Now, they're not the only team, but they do really seem to have Treaty's number. Very difficult to go against Cork, isn't it, with the momentum and the quality they have here?
Absolutely, and look, he can chop and change his team around a little bit. I mean, Britton's been on the bench a lot since he signed for the club, so you give Keating and Murphy a bit of a break, and Britton could come in and do a job. Obviously, McGlade's back in the fold after being injured for so long, you know. So what Cork didn't have earlier on the season in terms of squad depth, they now have that, and they have that going into the heavy part of the season when you need it most. I can't see anything else other than a Cork City win here, particularly with the crowd behind them, you know. If they get 2,500, 3,000 in Turner's Cross, be fantastic for the division, you know. Look, we said it in our review show. They're sharing the goals around, and I mean, even the centre halves and the left backs. Kevin O'Connor, Coleman has played left back or centre half a couple of times, and scoring. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a comfortable Cork win, probably by 3.
Yeah, it's a very fluid kind of system the way Cork play. Like, you know what I mean? They don't play centre forward as such, you know what I mean? And the Britton there, who is an actual centre forward, but I think he's been brought in as well because he gives them something different potentially if they need something different. Yeah. Haven't really needed something different the last few weeks, to be fair. I know Gavin was talking about him, but he's very much an in the 6-yard box type striker. He doesn't really link up the play too well, or, you know, get involved in the play and things like that. He's very much a finisher at the end of moves, let's say. That's the type of player he is. But Cork do play very fluent. And I think that's why so many people, you mentioned there, so many players score so many goals for them that, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, Coffey could go 5 weeks without scoring, and they're scoring goals. He comes back in, you know, Murphy might go through a run, and they score goals from everywhere. It could be any position, and that's the thing. Treaty, I find it very difficult that they stop that, because they haven't done that in the 2 games they played Cork. In fact, Cork blitzed them in a couple of games, I think, very, very early as well. That's something they'll have to try and do to stay in the game. But I can't come up with an argument for 3D at all, I'm afraid. So Cork City for me, it's something like yourself. It could be 3, it could be 4, to be honest with you, probably nil as well. Wexford and Cobh. If Wexford have to get into the playoffs, though, they have to really target these games and win them, don't they? Let's be honest. I know Cobh, are looking to try and improve and can be tricky in their day. We all know that. But you think for Wexford to get into the playoffs, to really challenge the likes of Treaty and possibly Longford, they have to win this game.
Yeah, they have to win it, and I think they will win it. I think apart from the Galway Cork games, they have been on a relatively good run of form. Couple of good results in there as well. I think they went down to Waterford and bet Waterford as well. So Ian Ryan has some fantastic football, and again the goals are being shared around. Dinny Corcoran has scored, Conor Barry has scored. It's good. It's good to see that. I think if you notice, Lachlan Fitzgerald seems to have taken a bit of a back step. And he's coaching more than he is playing. So and since then it seems to. Lachlan Fitzgerald's a great player, and don't take this as a pounding on Lachlan Fitzgerald as a footballer. I just think since he's been coaching from the sideline with Ian Ryan, they have improved. They have taken that extra step. So kudos to Lachlan Fitzgerald in that sense. So I seen Aidan Freeland went off a half time last week. So if he's injured, that could put a cog in the works. But Cobh, Wexford's a tough place to go at times, and Cobh, they're not on a good run of form, and Shane Keegan is prepping for next year. So I think another comfortable win for Wexford here. I think 2-0.
Yeah, they've kind of proved as well that they can play without Doherty as well. Wexford, to be fair, haven't they? Yeah,
absolutely. He's a great player to have in the team, and he makes them click, but they found that other players make them click as well. So, and I mentioned Aidan Freel, if someone can come in and do his job, fantastic for Wexford. So, Gavin loves Jack Doherty. I love Jack Doherty. I think he's a fine player. And, it's a pity because he was flying earlier on the season. He had injury problems last season as well, and that seems to have come to the fore again, unfortunately for Wexford. But it hasn't seemed to affect them. So comfortable win for Wexford.
Yeah, fantastic. Actually, all 4 games are on a Friday as well, by the way, in case anyone's wondering. Big game. Yeah, interesting enough. The big game is Waterford and Galway United, and Galway haven't dropped points at home to Wexford. It makes this tie extremely important. And we've talked about how Galway and Cork obviously have, when they've needed to win, they've won. But Galway, I think, at this stage of the season, genuinely have to win this. The potential is that even if they get a point, that they're 5 points behind Cork, and Cork would have a game in hand. And the way Cork have been going, 17 wins, 5 draws, 1 defeat, 5 points is a big gap, isn't it? This is a huge game for Galway. Waterford see it as a big game as well, because they feel to themselves, if we can get a win here, we're 5 points behind Galway. Obviously, they could still be off Cork, but still, it kind of gives you a bit, we're getting closer to Galway. But it is a big, big game, and it's a massive challenge for Galway, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a long old trip from Galway to Waterford as well. So
yeah, it's a funny trip.
It's funny, Keith, because I expected Galway to go up to the next level with the signings they made. Bastien Heary coming in, and Rob Manley obviously coming in, and James Finnerty.
Heary going back to Waterford, where he loved so much. Yeah,
yeah, it's funny. That's where the Caulfields Heary clash happened.
There's a bit of funniness about that signing. I didn't think I'd see that day, but anyway.
maybe they'll have a little cuddle on the spot that it happened in. But I think this week, I said it in the review show that Cork should be given the title. I think this week is when the title actually goes to Turner's Cross. I don't think Galway get a win here. Cork get a win against Treaty. Game in hand, and it's, Caulfield, there's another team that's just drifting towards a playoff, and it's almost the league is over as such in terms of places as well. It's whether who finishes second, third, fourth, or fifth.
It is teetering on the brink, isn't it? It'd be gas, wouldn't it, if Galway went to 1 and somehow Cork dropped points, and you just think a game on again. But you're right, we're getting for the first time a teetering on the brink, isn't it?
Absolutely. Look, Waterford will obviously be strong at home, and they like their form's not great, but Galway, long journey. Even though, like, if they were coming off the back of a win last week, you may think, oh, maybe you can go to Waterford and get something. But I just can't see it, with the Wexford result, and they'll be on the downbeat as such. Conor McCormick went off injured for them last week, so he's a key player for them. So who comes in for him? Even though they have the squad, who comes in for him?
Probably Bastian Heary.
Yeah, it's. I don't know, but what I do know is I think it'll be a high scoring draw. I think it'll be 2-2 draw. I think I put that in prediction somewhere else. So I think Waterford will score 4 goals.
Yeah, I'm going to actually back Galway here and just keep them slightly in there. I'm going to back Galway to win this. Yeah,
you're just
Waterford.
For that, aren't you?
Nothing against Waterford, but I do want to see a title race. But I just feel like they will, actually. I just think they might nick it 1-0, and you're kind of saying they're not gone away yet. I just don't think Cork will back them away as easy as they can, or as easy as that.
I think everyone wants to see a title race. I want to see it because, like, if it does happen that Cork get the win and Galway don't, that's it. That's the end of it. And you can't have that. Whereas in the Premier Division, it's it's always tighter with Rovers in Europe, whereas Cork and Europe, they're just going to steamroll teams to the rest of the season. So,
yeah, look, it's going to be interesting. Guys, let us know what you think in the comments. Give us a few predictions. Who do you trust, I suppose? Do you trust me or Keith? Are Cork going to run away with this, I suppose? Or Galway going to hang on to them? So let us know what you think there as well. Subscribe to the channel, hit your bell notification button. And thank you very much for watching. Cheers, Keith.
Cheers, Keith. Thanks a lot. Take care.